Man, I don't know how to start this video, honestly. Um, I took a couple of days. I think it's already been 2 days. Found all my thoughts in about this, and I've come to the realization that this was probably the most, not only tragic, but most devastating loss ever in a playoff series. Like, it would have been different. Like, if the Clippers would have versed like the Lakers in the conference finals and lost, it wouldn't have been that tragic because they could just ran it back next year. Um, but this hits different. Like, they were supposed to be this such a good team. Most people had them going to the finals. I didn't. I had Lakers going to the finals. I thought the Lakers would beat the Clippers in 6 in the conference finals. Um, I had Clippers in 7 over Denver. I thought Denver would take them to 7, which they did, but I thought the Clippers would take it, not the Nuggets. And especially, I did not think it would go in the fashion that it did. I thought it would be closer than I would think. I didn't think the Clippers would go 3-1, and then it would go to 7 after that. I had Kawhi Leonard as the second best player. I never believed he was the best player, and it's still a shock to me because it makes me go back and realize that there's a chance that Kawhi Leonard's 2 rings weren't even like were they? Like, were they even hit? Like, was he the main reason they won those 2 rings? Like, I just go back to San Antonio, and people were like, he was the finals MVP, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but, like, he'd even averaged 20 during that whole series. And he was guarding LeBron James most of the time, yeah, but it's not like... See, people hold that against LeBron, they're like, he clamped him up, but LeBron was the only one doing good in that series for the Heat. Like, if you go back to that series, LeBron was the only one that did good. D Wade by that time his knees caught up to him, his injuries caught up to him. Chris Bosh, he did decent. It wasn't good enough, though, obviously. Pretty much, Greg Popovich did what any coach would do in that scenario. And the reason the Heat lost in that fashion back in 2014, yeah, it's 2014 finals. The reason they lost in like 5 games was because the Spurs, they were just pretty much doubling LeBron. All they had to do was keep LeBron from scoring, and they would have won. And that's what they did. They didn't have to worry about anyone else, really, because D Wade wasn't making his shots. Chris Bosh was decent again, but Chris Bosh was having his moments too, and it's not. I mean, when that team was built around that big 3, and when all 3 of them are, if one of them isn't doing good, then pretty much the team will struggle. And if 2 of them aren't doing good, then there's no way they're going to win. And that's what happened. And there's only so much LeBron can do by himself. I think that was kind of overblown when they said Kawhi was guarding him and clamping him up. It's pretty easy when LeBron is the only scorer, pretty much, and doing everything. Toronto, I mean, yeah, he had one of the best playoff performances I've seen. That game-winning shot against the 76ers was crazy. But to be fair, he did verse a Warriors team that did not have Kevin Durant or Klay Thompson the whole series. And it still went to 6 games. So, and even one of the games that the Warriors stole, they played without Kevin Durant. They had Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, and they still won the game against Toronto. They still pushed them to 6 games. They didn't even have Kevin Durant or Klay Thompson until the end. So, yeah. Which tells me if they probably would have had the whole team, there's no way Toronto would have won. Warriors probably would have won in like 6. Is Kawhi still my second? Like, is Kawhi still the second best player to me? Yes. He's definitely still better than Giannis right now. But Giannis could easily change that next year, and so can Kawhi. I mean, anything can happen next year, definitely. But I mean, the only reason Giannis isn't better than Kawhi right now is because Giannis did not get through the playoffs. If Giannis would have made it to the conference finals or the finals this season, I would have put him over Kawhi Leonard easily. That's how bad this was. But there's just no words for it. I mean, when you play like 43 minutes and shoot 6 for 22 from the field, go 2 for 7 from 3, you don't even hit 20 points in an elimination game, and you're supposed to be the best player in the world, as most analysts had you, which was honestly disgusting to me. And I mean, I was pretty happy, but also sad at the same time, because like, it's disappointing to see people had this dude as a number one player in the NBA, and he'd even show that he was number one. He showed he was 100% a number 2 or number 3 best player in the world. Right behind LeBron. Right behind Kevin Durant. For a reason. And this is a good reason why. He's not the only one at fault. Paul George, 4 for 16 from the field. 2-11 from 3. 10 points. Nice. Did nothing in the playoffs. Lou Williams, 3 for 11 off the bench. Won 6th man of the year twice. The only credit I'm going to give is Montrezl Harrell. A lot of people have been hating on him lately. Nah, I'm going to give him credit, bro. He went 7 for 10. He was, when I was watching the game, honestly, in my opinion, he was the only one that showed up. He was actually doing work. Rebounds, yeah, he didn't do the best, but I mean, he came off the bench and he was getting out rebounded. That's true. But at least he scored efficiently. He hit his free throws. He got free throws. He got more free throws than Kawhi. Kawhi didn't get any free throws that whole game. No joke. Paul George only got 1 free throw but missed. You know, but I don't even know, dude. Like, this is, it's just crazy. They're probably gonna run it back next year, but if they run it all back together next year with the whole crew, I don't think they're gonna win. I really don't. I really doubt it. There's no way. Paul George is Paul George. He's gonna be the same every year now. I've given him multiple chances to prove me wrong, and no, he's just not getting the playoffs anymore. Ever since all of his injuries, especially the shoulder injury, he just hasn't been the same, and there's nothing he can do. Lou Will chokes in the playoffs as well. Still the same Lou Williams as I know is choking in the playoffs. So, yeah. I would talk more about Doc Rivers, but I have another separate video for that. I'm going to go into Doc Rivers on that one, no doubt, because I feel like 50% of the blame can go on him, no doubt, maybe more, depending on it. I think they should fire him, but hey, I know they're probably just going to run it back this year, this next year. But you know, it's probably not going to work out in my opinion. It's just crazy, man. I really have no, like, there's just no words. It's just crazy. I think everyone is pretty much shocked, except a few people. Am I shocked a little bit? Like, I'm shocked, but also not, because I knew this was possible, but to an extent. Like, I thought they were going to lose to Lakers, but not to Denver, especially blowing a 3-1 lead. Kawhi Leonard was also a big reason, but there's not much to say about Kawhi Leonard, really. He choked. There's not much to say about him. There's more to say about Paul George and Doc Rivers, honestly, in my opinion. Kawhi Leonard, there's just not much. All you can pretty much just say is that he choked, and he's not the best player anymore. For most people. I never thought he was the best player. And that showed. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys could like it or subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate it. It keeps me motivated to keep on bringing amazing content every single day for you guys. But with all that said, if you guys have any comments, leave them in the comments below. With all that said, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Peace.